Okay, we are gonna start on our backs, and I'm gonna try and get these dogs to get out of here. All right, we're gonna start with some windshield wipers just to kind of get our hips and our back on board, ready to do a little bit of work. So come on down, step your feet so that they're about hip or shoulder distance apart, just a good distance that feels good to you, and then just start to rock your knees side to side. You can start small and then slowly start to increase your range of motion. Just take the time to tune in. Notice how your knees are feeling, notice how your hips are feeling, and notice how your back is feeling. So if there's anything going on, back, knees, hips, whatever the case may be, just make sure that you address it throughout your class. Make sure you're mindful and careful with yourself. We got 30 seconds left here. And if things are starting to feel nice and warm, let your knees drop really deep down towards the ground. 15 seconds left. All right, that's time. Now walk your feet in a little bit closer. We're going to start taking into some alternating knee pulls. So you can start with your knees bent and keep it in that bent knee position, or you can start to extend the legs long if that feels like a better way to go. Things are nice and warm. And then if you really want that extra bit of work, you're going to pull your abdominal muscles down towards your spine, lift your chest and chin, keep it lifted as you alternate those knee pulls. So you're going to choose the variation that's going to feel good to you this morning. It might feel good to just stay in that smaller range of motion and let your body warm up a little bit, or it might feel good to go a little bit deeper and get the core active right away. You're already halfway there. And time. Nice. Now pull both knees into your chest just for a little squeeze, just to make sure your low back's feeling good. And then you're going to set your left leg down. We're going to work the right leg for 30 seconds. Arms are going to come down at your side. You're going to lift your heel up towards the ceiling, lower it down towards the ground, let the heel hover, pull the knee into your chest, and away we go. Heel lifts up towards the ceiling, lower the heel down, heel hovers, and then we pull that knee back into the chest. So we're just sticking with that right leg for 30 seconds. And we want to think about finding the work in our abdominal muscles and through the front of the hip flexor as that foot hovers over the floor. We got 10 seconds left on this leg. All right, now switch. Right leg is going to step down onto the ground. Left knee pulls in, heel lifts up. We lower the leg with control, heel hovers, and then pull that knee back into the chest. And then just stick with that left leg, working at your pace. And again, we want to find that work through the abdominal muscles and the psoas or the hip flexor muscles. You got 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, pull both knees into your chest. One last little squeeze. And then we're going to roll over onto the right side or whichever side you like, because we're going to do both sides. So start in a lower lying position with your head behind your hand behind your head, and then extend your legs out. And then we're going to angle them about 45 degrees. So we're just going to have a little hip crease. And then we're just going to lift the top leg up and lower it down. And then you're just going to take that at your pace. You can flex the foot or point the foot or alternate between the two. So you might like to flex as you come up, point the toe as you lower down. So you're going to choose any little variation here that you like. If this feels like it's not quite enough work, you're going to grab one hand weight, load up the side of your leg, holding the weight in place with your hand, but your leg is going to do most of the work. Nice. You're already halfway there. 10 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Lower that leg down, bend both knees. And now we're going to prop ourselves up onto elbow and forearm. We got 3 moves here. So it's going to be a clam. We're going to lift the knee up, lower it down. A reverse clam, knees stay together, heel lifts up, lower it down, and then take it into a lifted clam. So you're going to press into the bottom leg, lifting the top leg up, and your hip is going to lift up off the floor, ribs lift up away, and then lower yourself back down. We got 1 minute on the clock here. So it's a clam, a reverse clam, and then we lift that clam up and then lower it back down with control. And then you just start to take that at your pace. Lift the top knee, lift the heel, and then lift the hips up away from the floor. Nice. Now, if that lifted clam does not feel good to you, if you're just not there this morning, skip that part. But if you can, keep the clam, heels together, knee lifts, knees together, heel lifts, and then you'll just alternate between those two if that feels like a better way to go this morning. We got 15 seconds left. Nice job, you guys. Okay, we're going to roll back onto our backs, grab your hand weights. We're going to take it into a chest press with a skull crusher. So 2 hand weights, nice and even at your chest, press up towards the sky. Palms are going to rotate in. You're going to drop those weights down alongside your ears, press them back up towards the sky, palms flip, lower the weights down. We got 1 minute on the clock. If you're just rehabbing and getting back into it, you might choose to not use weights or use really light weights. And if you're using heavier weights, just tune in and pay attention and make sure as you're pressing up that your chest and your ribs are staying nice and grounded. If your chest is puffing up and your ribs are lifting, it might be a little bit too much weight. But if all is feeling good, you got a good set of weights, everything feels good, you take it at a pace that feels nice. So once you feel like you've got that motion down, you can pick up the pace and just make sure you stay in a safe position for your body so the ribs are evenly grounded and you're just working through the chest and the tricep muscles. Nice, you guys, beautiful work. And time, awesome job. Set the weights off to the side and then we're gonna spin around and take all of that work to the other side. So onto your left side, I'm gonna spin around and face the camera, but you spin around in any way that works for you. We're gonna come into that lower lying position with your hand behind your head, angle your legs out about a 45 degree, and away we go. We're lifting that top leg up and lowering it down. And then any other little variation there that you like. You can keep the foot flexed, you can keep the foot pointed, or alternate between the two, flexing as you come up and pointing as you lower down. And then we want to keep our torso as stable as we can. So most of the work is coming out of the side of the glutes. Shoulders are stable and belly is slightly firm. Nice, you guys, beautiful work. "20 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Lower that leg down, bend your knees. And now we're going to prop ourselves up. So we're up on the elbow and the forearm and then into our clam. So we lift the knee up, lift the heel up, and then lift up with the hips, coming into that higher lifted position, but only if that part feels good. So we take it a clam, a reverse clam, and then we lift that clam up. As you lift up, if you're taking that clam lift, we want to make sure we pull those ribs up away from the floor so we stay nice and sturdy in our center and we don't collapse into our shoulder. You're already halfway there. Nice job. Nice, you guys. Beautiful, strong ribs. Woo, woo. 5 seconds left. And time. Awesome work. Okay, we're flipping back onto our backsides. Grab your weights. We're going to take it now into a chest press and then chest flies. So we're going to keep our weights at our chest, press up, palms flip in towards each other, a little micro bend in the elbows as you open your arms into a hug, and then bring it back in, flip the palms down as you lower your arms. We got 1 minute on the clock. And then again, you want to check in with those weights. Make sure as you do that chest press that your ribs are staying nice and grounded. So the chest isn't lifting and we're not straining to push those weights up towards the ceiling. If anything's going on with the shoulders, the chest here, might feel good to just leave the weights off altogether. But if everything's feeling good, you've got a good weight that's working for you, pick up the pace just a little bit and get a couple of extra reps in. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. And time. Stick with those weights if you can. We're going to take it into a sit-up with 4 punches. So you're going to load those weights up at the chest, 4 punches across the chest, lower back down, keeping those weights loaded at the chest. If a sit-up is no good for you this morning, you're going to stay up in that V position and just work the punches across the chest. But if the sit-up is working for you, away we go. You're going to take it at your pace. Sitting up, give 4 punches across the chest, and then lower back down with control, contracting the abdominal muscles up and down, and keeping that little lean back as you take those punches. So we work the oblique muscles just a little bit. Nice, you guys, beautiful. And time. Awesome. Now we're going to come up into a seated position, keeping the knees bent, heels and feet nice and anchored on the ground. And then we're going to flip the palms and take it into some alternating bicep curls. So we're leaning back just a little bit so we keep the core engaged the whole time. And then we're alternating those bicep curls so we force a little stability into our body. So we're working through the biceps, shoulders are engaged, and we're keeping the abdominal muscles engaged so we're not wobbling the torso all over the place. Nice, Karen. Beautiful. Yes, Liz. Yes, Ting. Woo, you guys look amazing. Yes, Helen. Oh my God. I love you guys. Happy Friday. You got 10 seconds left here. And time. Nice. Now we're going to set one weight down and staying in the seated position. We're just going to start to pass a little figure 8 under the leg. So one leg is going to pick up, you're passing the weight underneath and then taking it over to the other side. Once you've got that motion down, you're going to take it at your pace. If you're working with a heavier weight, just be slow and mindful as you do that pass. And then keep that leaning back position so we keep the core engaged. Yes, and then if you like Karen, working it hard, keeping the heels lifted the whole time, so you can keep those heels off the ground, staying even more engaged if you want that extra bit of work. Gold star for Karen, nice work. Woo! You're already halfway there. Nice, Liz, nice thing. Yes, oh my God, you guys, too much. I love Friday. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're gonna come up into a kneeling lunge. So spin your legs around, and then one weight or two weight, that's gonna be totally up to you. It's just gonna be how much load you want. But we're gonna take one foot forward, one knee down on the ground, and into some hay balers. So we're taking the weights over to the hip and then throwing the weights over the shoulder. We're gonna keep our legs super grounded here. So there's a little bit of a hugging and sensation. Think about pulling that front heel towards your back knee so you keep your legs engaged. And then we find most of the work and rotation coming out of the torso. So our hips stay anchored, legs stay nice and strong. Bring the weights to your hips and then throw them over your shoulder. You got it. If having weights here doesn't feel good to you right now, set the weights down and just work that range of motion. You're still going to get plenty of work in the obliques and the torso. Five seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. So we're gonna step the other knee down, step the other foot forward, and then when you're ready, away we go. Taking the weights to the hip, throwing it over the shoulder, and then finding that nice little bit of hugging and sensation. So think about pulling the front heel towards the back knee so we keep the legs active, keeping you getting that nice solid foundation down in your legs, and then finding most of your rotation coming out of the torso. So hips are pretty stable here. You got 5 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Set your weights down and then just for a little challenge, see if you can come up hands-free. If you can't, no worries. But if you can just step into that foot, lift yourself on up, and then we're gonna take it with a nice even stance. Feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart. It's gonna be a heel raise, but we're gonna add on to that. So you're gonna bring your hands behind your head with just a light touch to the back of the head. You're gonna give a little heel lift, lower your heels with control, firm up your belly, and then pull your hands about 2 inches away from your head so you find a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Fingertips touch the back of the head, lift your heels, lower your heels, pull your hands back 2 inches, find that little squeeze between the shoulder blades. And then once you've got that down, you're gonna take it at your pace. Lift the heels, lower down, pull the hands away, and bring it back in. Fire away as fast as you like, but we really wanna find that squeeze between the shoulder blades as we pull those hands back away from the head and then lift your heels back up. Nice. Keep a little bit of a firmness in your center so the ribs aren't flaring up and the belly's not puffing out. And then if that hand behind the head maneuver is just feeling like it's a little too much, you can always take it into a cactus or goalpost arms. And then there you'll just hug the elbows back and then pull them back in line with the shoulders. So if that variation works better for you, do that one instead. And time, nicely done. Lower your arms down, give your shoulders a little shrug, And then grab your weights again, heavy or light, totally up to you. But we're going to take it into a wider stance. So we're going to keep our elbows out at the side of the body, kind of hugged in, lower into your little sumo squat, and then into a W lift as you rise up. So we're just pulling the elbows away from the ribs and then pulling the back in as we lower the butt down. Think about drawing your knees towards your pinky toes and then into that W lift as you rise up, sinking down, knees draw back. Nice. Once you've got it down, fire away at your pace, as fast or slow as you like, but just tune in here to your shoulders and make sure this feels like a good, comfortable weight for your shoulders. Nice. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, hang on to those weights, shake out your shoulders. We're going to take it right into some alternating curtsy lunges or cross behind lunges. So if you like, keep your weights with you, cross your foot back, touch down to the ground, lift them up to your chest, switch over to the other side. If weights don't feel good for you right now and you just want to stick with the squat, you're going to keep your hands loaded up at your shoulders and you're just taking it into that little curtsy. Only go as far as feels good to your knees and to your hips. But if it feels okay to do so, touch down to the ground and then bring it right back up to the shoulders. Find a pace that feels good to you. You can go super fast, get your cardio in, or you can go slow and mindful, making sure your knees and your hips are good. Already halfway there. And time. Nicely done. Keep your weights or drop them. That's going to be up to you. We're going to take it into some half jacks. So we're going to click those weights up and overhead as one leg steps out, or you're going to leave the weights off altogether if that will feel better to your shoulders. You're going to go as fast or as slow as you like, letting those weights or your hands meet right up and overhead. One leg steps out. So we're working through the side of the body, a little bit of balance. And then if you want, pick up the pace and you're getting your cardio in as well. You're already halfway there. And time. Nicely done. If you were holding on to the weights, go ahead and set them down. Now we're going to step our feet about hip width distance apart. We're going to shoot the butt back, reach down, touch right alongside the pinky toes, reach your arms up and overhead, look to the sky. Then we're going to fire it away. So you're going to go as fast or as slow as you like. We want to maintain a nice even distance between the knees as we reach up and lower down. So if you feel your knees buckling in or buckling out, see if you can keep a little bit of a pull. Heels draw away from each other, keeping the inner thighs engaged, and then lowering down and reaching back up. Nice. You're already halfway there. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now it's going to be a little bit of single leg work. So if you need a wall or a chair, get your support team. We're going to lift the leg up, keep it lifted, and then we're just doing a little range of motion work here or mobility work. So you're internally rotating and then externally rotating. You're going to hold it out for a second and then hold it in for a second, finding a little bit of firmness in your center so you can maintain your balance. If you're on a soft surface, it might be beneficial to just keep a finger touching a wall or a chair so that you can focus on this rotation work rather than having to struggle with your balance. 5 more seconds on this leg. And time, nice. Set that down, shake out your standing leg, and then we're taking it to the other side. Pick the knee up, hold it there, and then we're swinging the leg out and in. So we're trying to rotate from the hip, feeling that little turn at the knee. So the heel comes in and the heel comes out. And you might notice one side has a little bit more internal, external rotation. We have little subtle variations within our own body. So it's kind of cool just sometimes to tune in and notice and then see where your balance is at. We got 5 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Set that down, shake out your legs. And now we're going to finish with just a little bit of work for our spine. So arms are going to reach up and overhead. Take a gentle back bend, lift your chest, and then we're going to dive down, tuck your chin into your chest, round your back like you're peeling your back away from the wall. Bend your knees as you come down, and then pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up strong from your navel center, reach your arms up, take a little back bend. Bend your knees, tuck chin to chest, roll down like you're peeling your back away from the wall. And then keep your knees bent, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way up, reach your arms up, take a little back bend. And then just take that at your pace. So we peel away from the wall, bend the knees, touch down to the ground, strong navel center as you roll up, and then reach your arms up, hips come forward, and we find a little stretch through the front of the body. Nice. The next time you come down, stay down, and we're just going to take a couple little bends and straightens of the legs. So fingers are going to touch the floor if that feels available. And then we're just going to bend the knees and straighten the knees just as much as feels good. No need to yank against the backs of the legs. Micro bend in the knee always feels good. If your low back is feeling cranky and it feels better to be in a little bit more of an upright position, take your hands to the tops of the thighs. But if all is feeling good, take 1 or 2 more bends of the legs. And then let the legs straighten, let your head soften. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up nice and slow. And then we're going to take a little stretch into the shoulders. So bring your left arm across the body, grab the back of the arm, drop the shoulder down, and then just take a couple of nods of your head up and down. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch. Take the other arm across the body, grab the back of the arm, drop the shoulder down, nod your head up and down. Nice. And then head comes to stillness, release that arm. And now we're going to reverse our grab. So we're going to grab to the back side. So you're going to reach across and see if you can grab your elbow pit. And then once you've got hold of your elbow pit, drop your head away from the shoulder that's being held onto. Awesome. Lift your head up, release your elbow pit, and then switch sides. Reach across, see if you can find hold of that elbow pit. And then once you've got a handhold that feels good, drop your ear away from that shoulder. Beautiful. Lift your head up, let go, and then just take it into a couple little shirt sleeve twists just to make sure everything feels loose. and happy and your spine feels good and your hips feel good. And then if you're sticking around, grab your foam roller. And if you're not, I hope your Friday's awesome. Worked up